Stranger Things is one of the most popular Netflix shows ever created. It's fun to watch and at times super scary and intense, but the show has also some more heartfelt moments that can be sweet to watch. It also has some really sad moments that have left fans tearing up just thinking about them for months afterward. So let's take a look at some of these sad moments. These are the Stranger Things' most heartbreaking moments revealed. Warning, spoilers ahead. Please remember to hit the like button if you enjoy this video, then subscribe to our channel and turn on the notifications. Then you will never miss a thing. The animals. Apparently, this show did not know about the one rule I think every fun show should follow. You can kill anyone, but leave the pets alone. I prefer this rule to be followed by any show or movie I watch, but they don't always respect my wishes and they end up breaking my heart. And this is exactly what Stranger Things ended up doing. Not once, but twice. Still, I have to admit this situation was never really going to have a better outcome. When Dustin decided that he wanted to keep a little demodog as his new pet, we just knew it was all going to end in disaster. They are super cute as puppies, but this is a species of monsters after all, so it was never going to have a happy ending. Tragedy first struck when Dustin took Dart home. He already had a cat, Muse, at home, and even normal cats and dogs don't always get along. And when your new puppy is a hungry little demodog, and then Muse comes strolling along minding his own business, well, let's just say Dustin should have done a much better job introducing his pets to each other and keeping everyone safe. But besides the fact that he ate poor Muse, Dart quickly had a special place in fans' hearts. He and Dustin had a very sweet relationship, and that just set us all up for even more heartbreak. Dart saved the kids when he held open the gate for them all to escape, and at least this gave Dustin a moment to say goodbye. But then 11 had to close the gates, and along with all the other Demogorgons, Dart died too. It was really sad. Hopper's daughter. Hopper is one of the greatest characters of the story and a hero that we are all rooting for. He has some flaws, but overall he's just a good guy trying to do the right thing. This is why it hit so hard when we found out that he had some serious heartbreak in his life that he would never be over. His daughter had died long before he even met 11, but we got to see her in flashbacks and it made fans feel the pain of her death with Hopper. And in a show that is all about monsters and crazy things happening, the fact that she died from cancer, a very real-world problem, just made her death hit so much harder. Hopper and his wife separated after their daughter's death, making this tragedy even worse. Hopper's own death. We all knew that Stranger Things doesn't mind killing off some big characters, but we felt that at least Hopper would be safe. So the show stunned us when they had him lose his life in the season 3 finale. He fought off the Russians and was saving the day, but there was no escape for him in the end. It was shocking and really sad, but more sadness was to come. That came when 11 read Hopper's letter to her. He was the closest thing to a parent for her, and she became like another daughter to him. It was all incredibly sad, but I don't think for a second that it will be the last that we see of Hopper. Like I said, the show doesn't mind killing off characters. I really just hope that he is one of those they find a way of bringing back. When Will destroys their hideout. Will has seen and been through a lot, probably more than anyone else has been through the show. First, he was taken by the Demogorgon and he was taken to the Upside Down where he was trapped. Then the Mind Flayer took over his body and it was super painful to get rid of him. He had some serious trauma after everything he has endured. So all he wanted to do was go back to the way things were before his childhood was basically stolen from him. And for him, that meant playing games with his friends and just spending time with them. But they had also changed during the time he was away. They had moved on and had gotten girlfriends, and they didn't realize how much they were hurting him by not being there for him. It was super sad to see just how abandoned he felt. Then he went to their hideout, Castle Byers, which meant so much to their friendship and to all of them. Feeling alone and angry at his friends and everything that happened to him, he destroys the hideout. He feels completely alone. To me, this was one of the saddest moments in the show, and it was a moment that hit a chord with many fans of the show. Barb's death. This was another one that no one saw coming, and even after it did, most of us were waiting for the explanation that would show that things weren't as they seemed, but it never came. When Barb decided to join her best friend Nancy at a party, no one knew that it would have a terrible ending. When Nancy goes off with Steve, she leaves poor Barb alone by the pool, and vulnerable to the Demogorgon that ends up taking her to the Upside Down and kills her. It was seriously sad, and we all hoped hoped that it was all some big mistake and that somehow Barb would come back somehow. And we weren't the only ones that felt that way. Barb's poor parents didn't know what happened to her. It was not like it was something simple to explain to them or something that they would probably even believe if they heard it. So each time that Nancy would visit them, they would say that they were hoping that their daughter would return someday. Knowing that she was gone and seeing their hope was heartbreaking to Nancy and to fans too. It was later revealed that Barb was definitely dead, and fans got the closure they demanded when she finally received a proper burial. Dustin at the Dance. This is a show that really blends all of the strange things going on well with the fact that these are actually just children trying to figure things out. And sometimes the most heartbreaking moments come from relatable struggles that many teens have to deal with. And one of these super sad moments comes when Dustin goes to the dance. He isn't super confident to begin with, but after a pep talk from Steve along with a small makeover, he was ready to face the girls at the dance. He puts in a lot of effort to make them notice him and speak to them, but he's rejected over and over, until he is finally left standing on his own while everyone else is dancing. It is super sad, especially if you take into account how nervous he was in the first place. Sometimes, the most heartbreaking moments come from normal, everyday issues. Eleven's mother. One big theme of the show has always been about Eleven and her past. At first, we didn't know anything about where she came from, but piece by piece, we are let in on the secret about how she came to where she is now. And a big part of that has been about her parents. Elle has always been severely impacted by the fact that she grew up without having parents. So when she finally found her mother, it was supposed to be a happy moment. Instead, it was one of the saddest moments on the show. Her mom, Terry Ives, is catatonic and she can't communicate. It seems like Eleven won't be able to get the answers that she is so desperately looking for. But this isn't just a normal girl. So by looking through her memories, she can see how desperate her mother was to find her and how hard she looked for her daughter. It is still super bittersweet. Knowing her mom loved her gives her some comfort, but realizing that they will probably never have a relationship is excruciating. It was an incredibly sad way to end this part of the mystery. Benny Hammond's death. We shouldn't really be surprised that Stranger Things continues to break our hearts with each new season. They have been doing it right from the start, starting with the death of Benny Hammond, Hawkins' favorite burger maker. He was the first adult that looked after Eleven, and he really wanted to do right by her and do the right thing overall. So he calls Child Protective Services to get help for Elle, but instead of getting thanked, he gets shot by the agent. They want to cover up Eleven and they can't have someone else who knows she is around to be in the way. It was a really tragic ending to a character that was just really trying to do some good. When the Byers move away. Moving can be tragic in any child's life. Leaving your friends behind is never easy, and not knowing when or if you'll ever see them again can be torture. But when it is a group of friends that has been through as much as the Stranger Things kids have, it makes it even worse. Let's face it, Hawkins has not been very friendly or safe for the Byers family, so it makes sense that they would want to protect the kids and get out of town. But still, it was a really sad moment when all of them had to say goodbye to each other. Nancy saying goodbye to Jonathan, Eleven, who is going with them, saying goodbye to Mike, and Will saying goodbye to all of his friends. We can't imagine a Stranger Things season where the friends won't be reunited, but it was still super sad. Stranger Things has broken our hearts a few times, but we always go back for more. Thanks for watching.